All right, please pull out CR. Your homework was 49 until 59, RHD and vocabulary. I'm going to check that in the same order as the paper. And then after that, we're going to start with a presentation. So the order is Sean, Jason, Maru, Jane, Daniel, Una, Aiden, Lina, William, Alice. Excellent. So again, I'm looking at page 49 until 59. Sean, let's see. Okay, good. Good. Okay. Good. And there's one more page, yeah? Yes, good. Okay, good. Excellent. Jason. Okay, good. Good. Okay, good. Do you have Korean there? I don't see any Korean. Okay, wonderful. Good, good. Thank you. And I need the vocabulary pages. Okay, good. Great, excellent. Maru. Okay, good. 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 Great. Jane. Okay. Okay. Good. 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 Fabulous. Daniel. Okay. Okay. Good. 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 Una. Okay, good. 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 Great. Aiden. Good. 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 Excellent. Okay, good. Good. Fantastic. Lina. Okay. Okay. Good. Good. Okay, good. Good. Wonderful. William. That was too fast. Okay, good. Okay, good. Okay.
Oh,
And the vocabulary? Okay, good. Wonderful. Alice. Okay, good. Good. Okay, good. 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 Excellent. Okay. So now we're going to do the presentations. You are presenting page 44. And we're going to go in the same order we just went. I'm going to put some comments for you about what was good and what to fix. I'm going to put that in the chat box. And everyone who's not talking is going to be muted, just like usual. All right, so Sean, you are up first. Are you ready?
Yep.
Okay.
I think it's true that haste makes waste. I think so for 3 reasons. First, when I took a test in a haste, a lot of wrong answer. Also, even in the game name is Among Us, if I haste, I often fail. Finally, I doing origami. I don't haste. I think this proverb is more important than the other one.
Good job. Just a second. All right, where's my paper? Jason, you're next.
I think it's true that haste makes waste. I think so 3 reasons. First, sometimes I need to homework very fast, then I wrong many things. Also did homework very fast, that time I lasting, but in school, then it's hard. Finally, I make a piece. I did it fast, but it is ugly.
Okay. Next is Maru.
I think it's true that getting a bad feeling out about it's not going to work. I think so for three reasons. First, that is very famous in Korea. Second, the proverb means cruise temperless. The lesson is not excessive. I think this proverb is more important than the other one.
Okay. Jane.
I think it's true that the early bird, the worm thing. I think for three reasons. First, look it up, and second is he he saw and it speed. Think this. I think this proverb is more important than the other one.
Daniel. Daniel, unmute yourself, honey. Are you ready?
Yes,
Okay, go.
I think it's true that haste makes waste. I think so for three reasons. First, it is tired. Also, it is hurry and you are wasty. Finally, it homework is memory. It is going time and you are didn't remember. I think this proverb is more important than the other one.
Okay. Yuna.
I think it's true that only a bird catches the worm. I think so for three reasons. First, waiting is okay to some extent, but if you late at appointment time, it becomes difficult to get around. Also, waiting can be tedious, but sometimes it can also have a relaxing effect. Finally, there is a big difference between waiting and being late. For example, suppose you have a meeting schedule, even if you leave the meeting earlier than meeting time, if you prepare or set up meeting materials, um, materials, um, um, during the meeting time, you may be likable for the people in the meeting. But if you're late for meeting, uh, they may feel uncomfortable with you. I think this problem is more important than the other one.
Good job. Aiden.
I think it's true that the early bird catches the worm. I think so for 3 reasons. First, I do homework for today and yesterday too. It can be a not good score, but I do at the one day off, I get the good score. And I have to homework at listen day. I can do a best of the week. I think proverb is more important than the other one.
Good job. Lina.
I think it's true that
Haste.
haste makes waste. I think so for 3 reasons. First, when I do an homework, sometimes I did not finish homework. Also, when I test at school, I missed 2 questions, so that is my little mistake. Finally, when I was late at friends' meeting, I have to play little with them. I think this problem is more important than the other one, as my big hasty makes to the waste. Thank you for listening my presentation.
Okay. William.
I think it's true that the early bird catches the worm. I think so. First person, also when they are hard working, they get more things. Second, if they are not hard working, they don't have many money and don't have a food to eat. Lastly, any people has to be hard working. I think this proverb is more important than the other one.
Good. And Alice.
I think it's true that early bird catches the worm. I think so for 3 reasons. First, an early bird is very diligent. Also, it has more time. It could catch more worms. Finally, it means early bird has more time, so it could catch more worms.
Good. Okay, so I sent everyone a comment about your presentation in the chat box. If you don't understand what I wrote, if you have questions about what I wrote, please ask me. That's my whole job. Let's check vocabulary and then we'll talk about the story. So I need you on page 57 with a checking pen. Again, I think your book and my book are mixed up. So I'm gonna read, you're gonna tell me the answer in words, don't tell me the letter, and we'll see if it matches. So number 1, to speak in a low tone that is hard to understand. You're on mute.
Awful.
What?
Mutter.
Mutter. Having some heat, not cold.
Warmly.
Warmly.
Good. To state that something will definitely happen.
Promise.
Promise. Good. To produce sounds or recorded images.
Play.
Play. It also means like to play outside. Anything or everything.
Whatever.
Whatever. To use words when you meet someone or to start a letter, like saying hello.
Greet.
Greet. To admit that something is true.
Confess.
Confess. To feel worry or anxiety.
Worry.
Worry. I'm sorry, to feel fear. You're right. To know from earlier experience.
Recognize.
Recognize. To allow to be taken away for the sake of something or someone else.
Satisfy.
Sacrifice. Good. Happy that a good thing happened.
Glory.
Glad.
Glad. Moving in the direction of something.
Towards.
Towards. Quiet or calm.
Peaceful.
Peaceful. To get things from someone who died.
To receive from a person who has died.
Receive.
Yes, to get from someone who died. It means the same thing. What is the word?
Inherit.
Inherit. So for example, like my parents have stuff, right? They have cars, they have a table and some beds. When they die, where do those things go? Well, I'll get some of it. My sister will get some. My brother will get some. We will inherit. I'm not getting my parents' bed because they bought a better bed. I'm getting their bed because they died. So that's inherit. And the last one, to lose blood.
Bleed.
Do we understand sacrifice?
No.
Sacrifice says to allow to be taken away for the sake of something or someone else. But do we understand what that means? Okay. All right, imagine, I have a regular office job and every day from 12 until 12:30 is my lunchtime. I get to eat lunch from 12 to 12:30, right? That's what I do. But today, Mac's teacher messaged me and said, hey, I really need help with something. Can you come help me? When are you free? And I say, yeah, I'm free. I have a break from 12 to 12:30. And so I go help Mac's teacher during that time. Because I was helping Mac's teacher, I don't get to eat lunch, right? That was my lunchtime. I only have one break. I sacrificed my lunch break so I can help Mac's teacher, right? I gave up my lunch, not just because I wasn't hungry that day. I gave up my lunch so I can help someone else, so I can do something for another person. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, wonderful. Back to this story. Why do we need forgiveness? What is this story about? Who's the main character?
The main character is Alex. No.
Nope.
Hans.
Hans is the main character. Hans's dad is Alex the farmer, and Hans the hedgehog is the main character. Why is he a hedgehog? Why is he a hedgehog? Usually when people have a baby, the baby is a person. When dogs have a baby, the baby is a dog. When hedgehogs have a baby, the baby is a hedgehog, right?
Yeah.
But these are people. Alex is a person, his wife is a person, and their baby is part person and part hedgehog. Why? Look in the story.
Because Alex wished if he could have a hedgehog baby, he really wants to have a baby.
Exactly. He really, really wants to have kids. And so he said, I wish I had a kid, even a hedgehog. Do you know what a hedgehog is?
Yeah.
Yeah. They're pretty cute, actually. But like, if you have a baby, you don't want a hedgehog. It's a pet, not a person. It's very weird. Okay, so he's really pokey, which means they can't really give him hugs, right? And even though Alex is the one who said, I wish I had a hedgehog baby, he still thinks at the bottom of 49, it says he thinks it would be better if Hans died. He kind of wants his own kid to die. Yeah, it's not good parenting. But Hans is doing fine. He's like a totally normal half person, half hedgehog little boy. So Alex is going to market and he asks everybody, do you need anything? And what does Hans say?
I need a flute. I want a flute.
Right. He asks for a flute. And he's so excited. He says, you know, put shoes on the rooster. I will ride the rooster and never come back. That's a weird thing to say to your dad, right? Put shoes on this rooster and I promise I'll never come back. I mean, if I said that to my dad, he would be like, well, obviously I'm not going to put shoes on the rooster. But we already know that Alex doesn't really like Hans, right? He thinks it's so weird to have a hedgehog baby or a hedgehog son. So he does. He puts shoes on the rooster, and Hedgehog Hans goes to live alone in the forest. One day, something happened. While Hedgehog Hans is living in the forest, what happened?
The king is lost in the woods. So, king said to help him to go out So he promised he would give Hans the first thing he sees in the castle.
Okay, so the king is lost in the woods and he sees Hans and Hans says, oh, you look lost. And the king says, yeah, help. And Hans says, I'll help you, but you need to promise to give me the first thing you see when you get home to your palace. And the king's like, yeah, totally. And he's writing down his promise, but he noticed that Hans doesn't know how to read or write. So the king just wrote like nonsense words. He didn't really write the real promise because Hans can't read. So he just wrote weird words down. And then when he got home, the first person who saw him was the princess. But the king explained what he had done, and the princess was like, yeah, you know what? If he can't understand the writing, it's probably fine to just forget your promise. Just skip it. Is that the right thing for the king to do? Did the king behave in a good way?
Nope.
No. This is not a nice king, not an honorable king. A few months later, the same thing happens again. Different king, lost in the woods. Hans helps him, writes the oath. But this time, he really did write the promise. And again, the princess is the first one who met him when he came home. She's like, oh my gosh, Dad, you're home. I'm so excited. So he gets home and his daughter is like, why are you late? Like, you're a king. How could you be so late? And he explained, you know, I saw this really strange guy. He was sharp all over his body and he helped me. And now I have to give So the princess is like, okay, I got you, Dad. I'm on top of this. I will keep your promise. In the meantime, while all this is happening, Hans is still living in the woods raising pigs, right? He's got pigs in the woods. That's his job, I guess. So he says to his dad, he writes a letter to his dad. He's going to go down to the village with the pigs, and he's leaving the pigsty, and he's telling the villagers that anyone can have the pigs. He's just giving away his pigs. Why? I don't know, but he is. I think he should sell them or eat them. Alex is surprised when he gets Hans's letter. Why is he surprised?
Because he thought that Hans would be dead, but he is alive.
Exactly. He's really surprised because he thought this kid was dead. He hasn't heard from him in like years. And now he gets a letter from him. It's really weird. And he's kind of disappointed. It says he was not happy to see this letter. Also, the village is really noisy because of these pigs, right? He just set the pigs free, and now everything's noisy. You can't just have pigs all over the place. Hans says to his dad, do it again. Put shoes on the rooster, and this time I'll go, and I really promise I'm never coming back. And Alex is pretty glad, right? He puts shoes on the rooster, and Hans goes off to the king. He goes to that first king he helped, the one who behaved badly, the one who was not honorable. And what happened when Hans got to that first king? Alice, hold on a second. Let's see if some others read the story also, okay? So Hans goes to that first king, and when he gets there, what happens?
The prince. He meet the prince and he
So I'm looking at page 52.
Along with the fancy horse, drawn carriage, and the coachman, servants, cash, and treasure.
Not quite that far. So in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th, the 5th paragraph, Hans rode his rooster to that first king, and the king is like, who are you? I've never seen you before in my life. Which is not true, right? He's lying. He's like, I've never seen this guy before. I don't know who he is. It says he pretended not to know who Hans is. He also told the soldiers to threaten Hans. Then on his rooster, he flew to the king's room and he said, keep your promise or I'll kill you. And the king's like, oh, wow, okay, yes, I will keep my promise. So the bad king gave Hans the princess and a carriage and coachman and servants and money and treasures. On page 53, what did Hans do to the princess?
He
killed.
Did he kill anyone?
not killed. He almost killed.
Yeah, it says he hurt the princess with his sharp spines, his like pokes. And she was bleeding all over and she went back home to the palace. Hans kept going and he went to the second king. But what happened when Hans got to the second king? Was it the same?
No.
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 The
Right,
prince-
this time we have the honorable king. We have the king who has good ideas, the king who does good things. And he told the princess what to do, so the princess is ready, right? She runs out to see Hans, and at first she's like, that's weird, it's a hedgehog person, it's very strange, I don't want to touch this. But she's really polite to him. She welcomed him and she just married him. She's like, all right, I'll marry you. That night after the wedding, they went to bed together because they're married now. And he said, no, don't worry. Why don't worry? On page
Because-
54.
Because Hans said that he will peel off his hedgehog shell. So he told the princess to burn him in the fire until the hedgehog shell is all burned.
Okay. So she's really worried because no one wants to share a bed with a hedgehog, right? That's spiky. It's not comfortable. It's not easy to sleep. But he's like, no, don't worry about it. Soon my body is going to peel off. The hedgehog part will peel off, and you need to burn that. You need to set them on fire, the pieces, not my body. But even though they burned the shell, it still looked like it was happening to Hans, right? It says his body turned black and he cried in pain as though he was the one burnt by fire. That's kind of weird. I can guess that some magic is happening here. The doctors come, they clean his body, they put cream on his body so that he doesn't hurt anymore. And in the morning, he's a human, right? It's all fixed. They solved the problem. He's not a hedgehog anymore. He's a real man. And then they have a second wedding because it's not a hedgehog anymore. Now he's a person. They have a better wedding with a person. And he gets the kingdom because he married the princess. So now it's his kingdom. And he lived there for a long time. One day he went to visit his dad, Alex. What happened when he got back to Alex?
Who are you?
Who are you?
Right, Alex is really confused because his
Yes.
kid is not a person, his kid is a hedgehog. And here's a person. He said, oh, I had a son, but he's gone. He lives somewhere else now. And Hans says, no, it's me. I'm your son. And then they're pretty happy again. Yay, the end. Do we have questions about this story right now?
No.
Okay. Number. Okay, so do these questions. I need to check. It looks like second day number 3 has 2 answers. I'm going to check the story. For now, 1 answer for everything. No, I'm sorry, I'm wrong. All of them have exactly 1 answer.
Okay.
So you're doing right now, you're doing page 60 until 63.
Yeah.
Teacher, start.
Yes, please.
I'm finished.
Great.
I'm done.
Great.
Sure, I'm done.
Great.
I'm done.
Okay.
I'm done.
Okay.
I'm done.
Okay. Jane and Daniel and Yuna, are any of you finished?
I finished.
Yes.
Jane finished. Okay. Daniel, did you finish, you said?
Yes.
Great. Yuna, are you finished?
Yes.
Is anyone not finished? Wonderful. You all have a checking pen, right?
Yeah.
Okay. we don't want to write in red. Great. Number 1, what was Alex worried about?
He didn't have any child.
Okay, good. So number 1 is C. Number 2, what was the child like?
D.
E. Why can't Alex hug Hans?
B.
B.
And
Where does Hans sleep?
D.
A.
D.
A. On the stove with straw. On the stove with straw. And number 5, why did Alex think it's better for Hans to die?
B.
B.
Because he had different chromosomes.
Yeah, he's too different. Number 6, what did the wife want from the market?
D.
D, she wants meat and bread. How did Hans feel when he played the flute?
B.
B. How did Alex feel when he heard Hans say he'll leave?
D.
A.
A. What did Hans want from the king?
D.
D.
D. And why did the king trick Hans?
B.
B. Whoops. B. All right, second day. Number 1, Hans wrote a letter to his dad. What did it say?
D.
D. How did Alex feel when he got the letter?
D.
A.
A. What did the first king do?
A.
A.
What did Hans say to the first king?
A.
No? B.
It was B. Oh yeah.
He said, keep your promise, otherwise you have to die.
Yeah.
Number 5, what did Hans do to the first princess?
B.
B. Number 6, what did the second king do when he saw Hans again?
D.
How did the second princess feel?
A.
A.
I have B, but let me check because maybe I'm wrong. You're right. She was afraid. Number 8, what did Hans look like after he shed the shell?
D.
Why couldn't Alex recognize him?
B.
C. And number 10, what's the lesson here?
A.
A. All right, so the first thing I want you to do is count your circles and message me in the chat. I have from Daniel, Sean, and Maru. I have from Yuna. I have from William. I got from Aiden. I got from Alice. I got from Lina. Jane, I need a number out of 20. I need just the number of circles. Jason, I got yours. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, great. Turn, please, to page 64. Page 64. On page 64, it says Hans decided to forgive his dad and live happily, even though the dad hated him, right? At first, his dad hated him, but he was like, you know what? That's fine. I forgive you. Imagine that you were in the same situation. there's a friend or a person, you were friends, right? You had a relationship, and then for some reason they hate you. And they were just like really awful to you. Can you forgive them?
No.
It's a personal, I mean, some people can, some can't. Sometimes it depends on the situation. So either I would be able to, or I would not be able to. You need to decide. Your details can be reasons, they can be examples. You can talk about a story from your own life if you think that's important, whatever you would like. Anything that you think helps me understand your opinion. Now, is your homework due next week?
Is term test.
Exactly. Next week is your term test. So your homework is not due next week. It is due in 2 weeks. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. Today is the 29th. Break time is over at 6:43. Enjoy your break.
Okay.
Really?
Really what?
Really doing